is Sarah, and I'm studying financial engineer. Eh, in this video, I talk about this research article, debate versus revenue sharing finances, and a theoretical student of revenue share finances in a capital constrained news vendor. So this article is very interesting and I talk about the abstract, introduction, literature review, model, numerical analysis, conclusion, and finally I take a resume or conclusion in Spanish. So the first I talk about the abstract. In the capital constraint needs builder paradigm reviews share financiers present and novel yet underexplored financial approach. This theoretical student conducts a comparative analysis of two finance methods, traditional debate finance and revenue share finances. Our research findings indicate that the revenue share ratio, cost share ratio, and debate interest rate are the more critical factors influence retiring decision. This student further demonstrates that under certain conditions, both financial structure and yield competitive profile means and order quality. Additionally, we discovered that fund providers have a minute revelation ratio, whereas for retailers there is a maximum review shared ratio. These two ratios establish a Barbour-Jenkins interval within which an optimal review share ratio can be achieved if both fall within this range. Outside the range, R is F is 18 unattainable or practical. Okay, in this abstract, the phase significant is difficult asset formal financial due to interlock collateral capacity and perceived risks. Given the situation, revenue share financial (RSA) has emerged. This is a based of a cash flow. This investor receives a percent of the revenue estate or required fixed interest or equity. Advantage, for example, is a flexible payment likened to revenue, doesn't require collateral or delayed ownership, and other is a faster process than traditional credit. And for example, the limitation, higher costs than bank loans, or only viable for companies with a stable recurring revenue. Other change is that legal and regulatory risks and possible restrict contract clauses. In conclusion, RSF represents an innovative alternative for growing CMAs, although it requires a solid regulatory framework and careful analysis of costs and conditions compared to traditional debate. So continue with the article, take a pictures, the citation, editor, revise, copying, dataability, funding, and competing interest. The next part is an introduction. Only read this first paragraph and continue with a conclusion because it's very expensive, it's very long. So I start. Access to financing for small and micro enterprises has always been a global change. Due to unstable access status, low credit ratings, and insufficient collateral, traditional financing methods of proven unfriendly to the enterprises. A World Bank 2024 survey for companies in 144 countries found that 51.4% of the companies required loans, and 21.2% considering finances ability a significant obstacle to the development. This indicates that gaining sufficient financial support during the development process is a crucial issue for this. Enterprises and the small and medium-sized enterprises have difficulty obtaining loans. According to the Foreign Economic Center data received by the National Bureau of Statistics in 2018. Micro and small enterprises account for the 98.5% of firms. However, according to the China Financial Yearbook 2018, the balance of the loans to micro and small enterprises account for only 32.1% of outstanding loans. The disparity between the cooperation of micro and small enterprises and their access to capital market support, such as issues of bond finances and leasing finances, is enormous. Despite the rise of informal loans from family and friends and the other private lending chains, they still strong to the secure stable funding, underscoring to sustained financial difficulties faced by small and medium-sized enterprises (CMS) in China. Okay, in this introduction, uh, I can say that the small and the micro enterprise face more major finances chains due to unstable assets, low credit ratings, and lacks of the collateral. Although they make up most firms, they receive a small share of the loans, forcing the really on informal lending and limiting stable work. Okay, this is also some real conclusion about the introduction. The next point is the literature review. In this part, I don't read because it's more unnecessary for my case. But in this part of the model, in this model, I structure in different points the notation and assumption, take a picture, model analysis with different equations, debate financing using the capital, rename the share finances with capital or no capital, the uniform distribution scenarios comparison analysis. I read this part. I understand the formulas. For example, this other part numerical analysis, and with this picture, and I have a picture and a picture. The conclusion of the this part, the model, I can say different things. For example, the sorry, I talk about the tree, the model. In the model, analyze the capital constraint, use vendor problems, involved a retailer and a phone provider. And the retailer needs short-term financial to purchase inventories and to measure and study the bad financial and review start the financial. For example, RCF. In the debit finance, the provenance fund with repaying and interest. With the RSA, the provider receive a fixed share of actual sale revenue. In both cases, they rotate purchase in staying on and grazing state to according to the shoes agreement. And in the fourth, there is an numerical analysis. I take this analysis and make administrative decision based in mathematical methods, supported by different equations and mathematical models. for assert decision making. This is very important, and in this article, talk about in different examples and in different pictures. And I like it because have different examples and it's more easy to understand. And and the last part is a conclusion. This is very important. I read all, and when I final, I doing my I don't know my requests, my examples about all article. So the conclusion. This student examined a financial constraint news vendor model. First, we analyze how a retired financial choice, debate, or revenue share affects provide an optimal order quality under financial constraints. In the construction of the model, we consider three scenarios. In the first scenario, we assume the retailers has zero initial capital. In the second scenario, retailers have a full excess their initial and finance capital for inventory purpose. In the third scenario, retailers retain some of their funds for inventory after financial. Our analysis reveals that the optimal order quality is the same under the bad financial in the first two scenarios. In the third scenario, the optimal order quality is influenced by factors such as the cost-share ratio, the bad interest rate, and risk-free interest rate. When the rate of for RSA in the first scenario, the rate will try to capture a makeup capacity since there are not associated costs. In the second scenario, the optimal order quality is affected by the renewed share and the cost share ratio. In the third scenario, the debate interest rate and the risk-free rate also influence the optimal order quality. When the comparative impact of two financial models of the return section focus on the review and cost share ratio under the assumption that the market is uniformly distributed, and the equilibrium point exists for the revenue share ratio. When the table that show RC, RSA conservate the retail will choose the bad finance. Similarly, an equilibrium point exists for the cost share ratio. When the share ratio will show RSA and when the ratio will show the bad finance. We approach a Nash-Barbie model to identify the optimal revenues share ratio. Through Nash-Barbie, we identify wound intervals where mutually beneficial agreements between retailers and the fund providers are achieved. Outside this range, RSA commands in practical and fantasy the importance of aligning contract terms with the market conditions and the risk appetite. They analyze how demand volatility affects the finance market under the what defines result demands for volatile placement finance costs to risk interest obligation. In contrast, RCF mitigates this effect through proportional risk share, making it more adaptable to uncertain markets. Examine review chart and the financial mechanics present considerably potential for the future investigation. This study simplifies the model by analyzing scenarios with a single fund provide and single retains. Future research could explore how competition affects retailers' financial decisions with a multiple parties. Moreover, the renewable shall model raises several complex issues for inquiry. include the potential more hazards. Adverse selection challenge faced by retirees and risk management difficult encouraged by fund provides. Okay, the other part is appendix supporting information and the reference. That is very important, the reference. So, okay, the next part is to do in a conclusion in Spanish. So, hola, bueno, como conclusión, el estudio que se analizó pues como en este modelo de vendedor de noticias con restricciones financieras y comparando el financiamiento por deuda y participación de ingresos de la RSF en tres escenarios que se dieron pues ahí como de capital, nos puede mostrar que los resultados bajo una deuda o bajo la cantidad óptima de pedidos va a depender de factores como tasas de interés, costos y costos compartidos, mientras que con la RCF se van a ajustar según a la proporción de ingresos y a la volatilidad del mercado. En este modelo de negociación de NAS también se permite pues, como identificar un rango óptimo en la participación de los ingresos para acuerdos de beneficios. Además, por último, en la RSF va a resultar un poco más flexible frente a la incertidumbre que hay en cuanto a la demanda. Aunque este plantea pues como retos con riesgos morales, esa selección es un poco adversa y pues como con una regulación. Y bueno, leí también este artículo porque pues como todo artículo tiene su, su introducción, su abstract, su literatura, su modelo. Este me gustó mucho porque también tenía su análisis numérico y pues su modelo como tal desglosado en diferentes áreas y las conclusiones. O sea, me gustó mucho porque también lo trabajaron como con ejemplos. Yo estoy estudiando ingeniería financiera, por ende me parece súper importante tener esos debates entre las restricciones financieras, entre qué se me sale mejor según el capital que yo tenga y asimismo fundamentarlo con la parte de literatura, con la parte del modelo matemático y un análisis matemático aparte de las de los ejemplos que también se marcan, que eso ayuda un poco más a comprenderlo. Me gustó mucho entonces, como les comenté, este artículo, por eso quise les traérselos. Este artículo se encuentra en Plus One y acotado de Scopus. Financiamiento de deuda versus participación en los ingresos. Un estudio teórico sobre el financiamiento de participación en los ingresos de un proveedor de noticias con limitaciones de capital. Aquí tenemos pues su astra, sus palabras claves, que sería financiamiento de capital, seres humanos y modelos económicos. Como les digo, me parece que esto es como un muy buen abrebocas, habla muy bien como tal de lo que es la ingeniería financiera y sus aplicaciones. Bueno, yo creo que eso sería todo. Muchísimas gracias por ver este video.